222.
With clever meme, with funny tweet, I'll never leave my office seat. Those who think they know what's right, listen on Sundays to NetHeads, all right?
You've got to throw some cold water on this situation. Start talking about nerd stuff.
You know, nerd culture is mainstream now. So when you use the word nerd derogatorily, it means you're the one that's out of the zeitgeist.
System activate.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. It's a tech podcast. But we are a ton cooler than your typical geek, giving you the info you need to achieve mega nerd status. NetHeads.
You guys rock.
And now, here's Will and Trent.
I still love the way that a complete and total screw up has now become one of my favorite parts of the show. That little fade out, and it's like, oh, but wait, there's a little more.
Back in.
And it was completely unintentional. Anyway,
It's
hi
like,
everybody.
I'm almost done. Oh wait, no, we're still going. Okay, game on.
Yeah, exactly. Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of Heads. My name is Will.
I'm Trent.
And for those of you watching the live video, or if you want to check it out when we do the show live, you can just go to netheadsonair.com/live. It's just that easy.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to take part in the program, either of the fact or after the fact, you also
True.
can.
True.
How do they do that, Trent?
Use the hashtag NetHeads.
It really is just that simple, as long as you're using it within Twitter.
Yeah,
I know
that's true. That's true.
You can use them other places, but it's kind of like whenever you see the @ symbol on Facebook and you're like, that doesn't belong here.
No, it's horseshit, man.
Yeah.
It's technological appropriation is what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. If you also want to take part in the program while we are live or after the fact, you may leave us a message. You can always do that. Many ways. Easiest, Skype, NetHeads on air, all one word. You can also give us a call, 866-610-9455. You can also call at 925-238-9020. That's also YakBet 9020 in case you needed something to remember it by. If you didn't, then sorry I wasted your time. Anyway, this is going to be an interesting show because YakBet. I'm sorry, I thought it was some type of digital version of Marco Polo.
Oh, YakBet.
YakBet.
I can't see him. Where's he at?
Anyway, welcome. It's going to be an interesting show because I'm going through one of those wonderful things that you'd never really experience much in your youth. But when you get older, I guess this kind of shit happens. So apparently I've got and I don't understand this, man. It makes no sense. Maybe you can explain it to me, Trent.
I'll try.
So in my neck, I have a pinched nerve.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, I now have pain that not only radiates, but also pinpoints in my shoulder, my left elbow, and down to my left ring finger.
Ugh.
And I think the way that my chiropractor described it is it's essentially kind of like, it's a different nerve, but it's exactly what you would attribute sciatica to.
Right.
But instead of it being from the lower back radiating down to your heel or toe or whatever it is, instead it's going that way. So I've got, we actually had a bonding moment right before we started because I said I got a rice bag heated up. That's why if you're watching the video, I haven't gone full fat man and I just like need a towel to absorb my sweat as I go.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I love taking towels with me.
There you go. Only a cool fruit always knows where his towel is.
It's so true.
But no, I'm actually wearing a thing, and I'd never heard of this before. But naturally, as my mom is one of the, I guess the best way to put it would be that, since she is not a Midwestern woman, she's one of the few people I know that actually still sews.
Right. Yeah.
And because of that, like when I was having other issues, I think with the lower back, she gave me this thing. It's a rice bag, Trent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which go ahead.
It's a bag with rice in it.
Yeah, but you say, well, I get those at the grocery store all the time, but that's not it.
No.
It's in this case, it's like a flannel material that has been almost sectioned. It looks like somebody took flannel material and then tried to make a row of ice pops.
Yeah. It's got a bunch of columns in it. If you're using an Excel sheet, an Excel sheet.
I want to use an Excel sheet. What the hell is that? is that the highly antibiotic topical version of Excel?
It totally is. It's full of probiotics. People's shit.
There you go.
Healthy people's shit.
So it's and each column's filled with rice. That would thank you for putting it so eloquently. I was trying to naturally go the fat man route, and I'm like, ice pop. Boom.
Yeah, it's like a strip of Otter Pops, except they don't tear your mouth in half.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Otter. You knew where I was talking though.
Totally, dude. Totally.
Anyway, so my mom, you fill it with rice, and then the beauty is that you put it in you put this thing in the microwave, and because of the nature of rice, this is better than a heating pad allegedly, because the rice naturally absorbs moisture, so when it's warm, it expels the moisture.
Yep.
So it's what they call moist heat, which is a good thing. Easy there, killer, easy. Which apparently is a good thing when you're having look. Regardless, it doesn't matter. I'm sitting down here and I'm trying to feel better, and I'm going to any extent that I can. So much so that I'm wearing heated rice on my shoulder. Okay.
and for that, we thank you.
It actually goes a level deeper, Trent. I'm going to admit my shame. I'm also, like I said, I'm willing to do anything at this point to absolve myself of the pain. And naturally, in dealing with it, you tend to kind of get grabby where it hurts, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And I noticed, and I'm wondering then if what I've got is a compounded thing, that maybe it's also a little bit of tennis elbow, because if I apply pressure right here, I'll hold my arm up. This is actually not a tennis elbow thing that you can get.
Oh,
I
use those.
Instead, no, this is actually the EA Sports active sensor for the Nintendo Wii.
EA Sports, get into it.
Yeah. But I'm using it in that same manner because it actually does reduce the pain if there's pressure right there.
Yeah. It could be a combination of things, Will.
You know what, Trent? I'm starting to think that might be it. But naturally, the other thing you think is left hand pain. You start questioning, is that tingling as well? Am I actually
shit. Start...
Yeah, but there's no chest pain. That's the important thing to remember here.
Good. As long as you don't start smelling toast, you'll be fine.
Oh my goodness. Do you smell fudge? Is that For those of you that don't know, that is a Warehouse 13 thing. Nobody watched Warehouse 13, no. I think, but me. No. It was me and one other guy.
Although I do know one of the storyboarders for Warehouse 13.
Well, now that's not the kind of thing you come up with every single day.
No, it's not. Yeah, he also does storyboards for Grimm.
Oh, now that's a cool show to do storyboards.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He's a regular at the Salt Lake Comic Con, lives in Seattle, but he'll come down and sell his original storyboard art from Grimm.
Yeah, because what does the production care? They just throw it out.
Yeah.
They don't give a goddamn about it, Trent. Not a goddamn. Much in the same way that apparently comic houses were the same way about the original artwork done.
No, we just got to get that throw it into the pulp pile. We need to make more comic books.
I apologize for bringing this up, Trent, but I think it was during the discussion with Neil Adams that Kevin Smith had. Bear with me, where he referred to the fact that the comic industry was even going to the point of just destroying the artwork so it couldn't be returned.
Yep, exactly.
Is that the case? I don't remember. What was that about?
Well, and I don't know if it was the fact so that they couldn't get residuals off that original artwork or not, but regardless, it was happening for a long time. That was
So-
kind of the
So they
normal
were
thing.
they were just like essentially going through and like nailing them with punch holes or something, right?
Well, and at the same time, though, like no one thought that would be a thing. You know what I mean? Bill Everett tells stories of kids from the neighborhood coming over to watch Jack Kirby do things, and he would be like, "Oh, you're here, huh? Here, have a page of Fantastic Four #6."
Sorry, what?
And just to like get them out, like, here, this isn't useful anymore. I've been paid for it already. Get gone.
You know, I gotta say too, nothing against the elder age of our comic forebears, but I will definitely say that I can't say that I have an appreciation of the art form for that era.
Okay, sure.
Even some of the early '60s stuff, you know, there was, and I understand though that it was a specific artistic style, because you know
Yes.
my frame of reference is going back to like your early Fantastic Four, your early Spider-Man, because naturally. I did what every sensible person does once the discovery of digital comics happens.
You
And
go
that's-
back.
You decide I'm going to start reading Spider-Man from the beginning.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then you experience crazy things like, wow, they're really going to say that Harry Osborn has a drug problem?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, especially when people were getting into comics and they would come into the comic book shop. I would never be like, oh, well, here, start out with the essentials of Spider-Man #1, starting with Amazing Fantasy or Strange Tales or something like that. Because now, I feel like now there needs to be some context going into it to really appreciate it. Otherwise, you're just like, you have to use your hands? It's a baby's toy.
Yeah, thank you, Back to the Future too. It is, but no, at the same time, those early comics, essentially what you need are the takeaways. It's like, okay,
Totally,
so
yep.
early on in his career, Spider-Man, in an attempt to thinking he could make money, attempted to join the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that was
You
an
know, so-
idea.
That's an early thing that you'd want to include. You know, do you have to go with the shucks way that Peter Parker is able to stop this ridiculous robot that's going through the high school? Not really.
The living brain.
You know, it's just nobody really needs that.
Yeah.
You just need to hit the finer points, the larger, because really, how can you even how can you take even a modern issue of Spider-Man and compare it against like that time, that era, that art, and those stories? You really
it's I
can't.
mean, and it's a whole different process now, and expectations are different, technology's different, influencers are completely different. So, you know, it's all about context and doing.
What happened there?
I petered out.
You know, speaking of which, and I'm going to talk a little shop here. I'm going to talk about something as a fan though. I have not processed it yet, but yeah, I'm putting off important work to do this. Dummy. But Hollywood Babylon, if you're a regular listener of Hollywood Babylon, there's a moment that happens, and I want to know what the hell is going on.
Okay.
Because I hear them in every episode. Ralph would be going on, and then just suddenly, And I'm just curious, what are those moments? Because is it that the house is getting distracting and they
Right.
need a moment to calm down that we're not hearing?
Yeah.
Is it that it suddenly, oops, I'm on the wrong page? Give me a
Yeah.
moment. I mean, what is it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is it that he's reading forward and he's like making editorial choices as to, oh shit, we probably shouldn't cover that type stuff, you know?
But you know, Trent, that kind of gives the benefit of why it's important. And what the difference is between the two products, because there is a live show that you can pay for and you can get those answers,
Right. Yeah, that's true.
or there's the free podcast where you can just sit and ponder and deal with it.
Yeah, you just figure it out along the way, you know? And,
Yeah.
and some people are lucky enough to live in the greater Los Angeles area and have more access to those
Well, maybe one of them
options.
could use hashtag NetHeads and they could tell us what the hell's going on.
Oh, I would love that. In fact, Will, I would love to get anyone who is gets like a shout out or sends a letter in to Hollywood Babylon to contact me on Twitter so that I could then talk to them and do a little write up about their trip to Hollywood Babylon in the Smodco news section.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, that I've seen a few of those. We've had there was
yeah.
a follow up about Bonnie that
Yeah.
some fine fellow I know wrote.
Yeah. Bonnie, an avid Harlequin cosplayer. Her boyfriend just started up a comic book store. Good luck with that.
I'm sorry. I just the moment he said you started up a comic book store, I'm sitting here. I'm trying to log into Twitter, and I'm like, there was just a moment where I'm like, oh, where's this gonna go? and then it was. And then I'm sorry, I laughed because right where I thought it would.
Yeah, exactly where it's gonna go. No, yeah. So that said, if anyone's listening and does attend a show, hit me up on the Twitter. Just like we've got, Carrie Lynn, Caper Girl Mel, that fracking cat, and Miranda Janelle, all using the hashtag NetHeads right now as we're doing the show live.
Holy shit! All those people are on right now.
Yeah, dude. And in fact, Carrie Lynn just caught a bird type Pokemon on my face.
Oh well, that's not awkward at all.
Well, hey, I'm a giver. Well, whatever it takes to get people their Pokemon, I'll do it.
Oh well, you're a good man. Now you got to stop the show and look. Yeah, there it is. There's a bird right in front. It's like it's hanging from your microphone.
Yeah, it's like down here. It's like blah, 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 blah.
Well, that's interesting. So I'm starting to think maybe that our live viewership is now perhaps transcending straight from audio. People are just opting for the video experience.
Well, that and I mean we're like 3 weeks consistent, man. On the same time of broadcasting.
Yeah, and look what I'm having to wear.
I know,
and
exactly. You're facing the and the only reason I can sympathize with you is in football. Sometimes you would get things called stingers, which is exactly that, a pinched nerve when you get hit in the shoulder. But it's just a flash, and the flash is enough to take you out of the game. I can't imagine dealing with that like in perpetuity, or at least, for an hour, let alone like days. Sounds awful.
You know what I would really equate each one of them to is just, I think it's somewhere along the lines of either a large construction nail. Something more like a tent spike. That's what I think I'm going for. Because not quite a railroad spike, but it's not as thin. And it's just like pick one point and someone just knocked it right through there. Yeah. So I got that right about here on the shoulder. And then it's, like I said, it's somewhere around the elbow, and it's a mess. But it's also one of those things where it's like, it unfortunately, I just, it's funny. I just had and I don't want to steer political this episode at all.
Sure.
I've already got a big enough pain in my neck. Let's not talk about our national pain in our ass.
Exactly.
But I was just talking to my wife the other day about this because, with politics, certain things do come up. And I had a very profound statement. I don't know where it came from, but it's true. And this is the one thing that I don't care what political party you aspired to or what's the term? Align with. There
Subscribe
we go.
To. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Any one of those, Trent. But thank you for attempting to give the assist.
A try.
By the way, have you ever watched the Olympic Games, Trent? Because I got to tell you,
like in my life, I have. Yes. I
was flipping through the channels the other day while I was sitting there in misery, and I happened upon the women's volleyball. And I don't know if you know this, but like they play it in like duos, and it's in the sand.
Yeah.
And
I'm familiar.
Okay, so here's the thing too. I was watching it. I'm like, okay, I'm watching this as a sport. However, this is one of the few things in this world that's on broadcast television that I would feel uncomfortable if my wife walked in right now.
What are you doing? I'm just watching sports.
I'm just trying to watch sports. It's not my fault that they're. My question is why is that their uniform?
Okay, so so great question, Will. There is some reason to it, some logic to it, all right? Same thing with like regular volleyball that's played indoors with 5 people. You want to have your clothing as minimal or as tight as possible so you don't get a foul called if the judge sees the net move. They assume that it's been hit by a person, and then that will be called a foul. And so you want to keep your clothing away from it as to not misguide that as well. As the same way as it's more freeing to move. I mean, that said, Will, did you see the picture of the Egyptian team playing the Italian team?
No.
Full Habib, like full Orthodox Muslim, garb, wearing. So they've got the head Habib and then the dress and everything, and then the Italians who are barely wearing clothing at all
in ordinary life.
Yeah. I mean, just traditional Italian beach garb.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting to see that. I applaud it. I think it's great.
Well, but first of all, showing your dedication, that's good. But actually, that's really mind-opening to me. So it must mean, because here's the thing, too. Interestingly enough, Trent, I got to tell you, I have never seen the men's volleyball team play in my life. But I would imagine that they're just wearing Speedos.
They're usually wearing, if I remember, like Under Armour compression shorts.
Okay.
So very tight. Essentially the same thing that like women wear in indoor volleyball.
Okay, very good.
Without shirts, in classic Tom Cruise fashion.
Yes. By the way, who was it that came up with that? That one of the things about the big 80s flick Top Gun is actually it's all about the lead character Maverick actually coming to grips with his homosexuality.
Well, I mean, that's why he's so upset when his boyfriend dies.
I mean, and it would explain why they enjoy playing volleyball so much on the sand.
Except Anthony Edwards never takes his shirt off.
Well, that's because he is notice he's also the one that has to die.
Yeah, if he had played skins instead of shirts, he would have made it out of that.
Capo Girl Mel tweeting, my favorite way to participating watching, and boy, that's one hell of a screen grab for you right there, sir. You can catch that in hashtag NetHeads.
Yikes.
And Ghost Wolf 2580 saying, watching live on YouTube. If you see this on my Twitter, come watch the show. That's pretty cool, huh?
Done and done. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Anyway, so one of the things that I said in this profound moment, and it was actually a profound moment. I have no idea how I connected with the women's volleyball, other than I just suddenly remembered that.
Yeah. It just happened to flash through your mind.
But there was something I said, because we were discussing national health care, and one of the things I said, which is true, is that no citizen of the United States should go bankrupt trying to stay alive in this country.
Couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know where it came from, but boy, howdy, that hit me hard. Because like right now, look at the case that I'm in. I have to question what is happening to me, and I have to make a financial decision.
Right, yeah.
On if I need to have this addressed today. Do I write it out to see if it's a pinch nerve issue? I'm actually making poor health choices because I have to make more solid financial choices.
Yeah.
And why do I have to do that? Because even as it stands, the state of healthcare in this country fucking sucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very interesting. I listened to a speaker a few days ago who was talking about healthcare in the world. And of the top 25 freest, quote unquote, freest countries as far as like liberty goes, all but 2 have universal health care to some extent, right? And that's kind of telling about things in life, we should probably do something about it. But we've got a good start.
I hope so, because man, oh man, I just really never truly comprehended now more than ever, and that's probably why I'm so invested in the goddamn election. Is I truly now realize that in many ways I am responsible for the world my kids are going to have to grow up in.
Yeah, isn't that kind of a mind warp right there, where like, oh shit, my decisions now affect people I will never meet.
Yeah, exactly. There are like, wow. So anyway, I don't know why that's why I brought it up, because I got a pain in my neck and I haven't seen anybody but a chiropractor about it. And why? Because I was going to the chiropractor anyway. As people out there listening going, oh, la-di-da, Mr. California going to his chiropractor.
He's going to get some magnets, maybe help him out.
Cry me a river, buddy. I've got duct tape and some bathroom tissue trying to hold my finger on, because I can't afford to do shit after the laceration on the day labor job that I was lucky enough to pick up, and now I'm fucked for 4 days. Yeah, I'm sure my problems really bother you.
It's all about context, Will.
I don't really think the person I'm describing is probably listening to a podcast.
No, they probably don't have a computer either. So,
well, they know now in this day and age, everyone has a smartphone, so we can't really
That's true.
say that. We're being elitist white shitheads again.
You're right, man. Just look at our white privilege.
By the way, speaking of white privilege, I got to tell you, I've been laughing. I don't want to talk about anything that we've talked about in the past couple weeks.
No need.
There's a title to last week's episode, and I think we should really strive to achieve that in some ways. I'm not trying to shirk our responsibility if you believe that is not the appropriate candidate, and I will say that every time. The most important message that we can take out of all of this is that if you are an American in the United States that is not a felon and is capable of voting, it is now more than ever your not only your civic duty, but the duty of those that will follow us now to make sure that you are registered to vote and that you do exercise your voting option this season. That's if nothing else, that is the core takeaway. And if you commit to that, then maybe you'll commit to figuring out where you stand on the issues. Because in truth, much in the same way that Scott Mosier taught me that there are no good or bad movies, there is no, as hard as it is for me to say this, there is no right or wrong candidate, because it is up to the individual to cast their vote based on their decision.
Yeah, whatever on your preference and that's where the responsibility lies, to do your homework and then follow your alignment.
Exactly. So all that being said, I forgot where the hell I was going.
That's okay. You get a pass this week, Will.
In the biggest interest of making sure that we were trying to be as bipartisan as possible, I totally screwed the pooch there.
It's okay.
I gotta say,
sometimes the pooch likes it.
But that's why when you're the guy that's running the show, sometimes you can cheat and you can suddenly just like press a key and somehow think you can defer responsibility for the programming.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's fine.
Did you know that?
Trend Tech.
Tech news.
Trend Tech.
Tech news.
Trend Tech.
Yeah. Tech news. Time for some Trent Tech, ladies and gentlemen. Tech news. Oh, no. Let's not play that again.
Oh, the remix. It's eating the tape.
No, let's kill that. One of the things that I seem to think that I can do is just shirk all responsibility and suddenly press one button and think I can throw to my co-host. But I do so much talking that really I need to occasionally throw to Trent. So hopefully he has something he wants to discuss while I was trying to remember where I was going with political whateverness.
Yeah. This is episodes ago, maybe even months ago, Will. I'm not even sure. I did a Trent Tech and I talked about a new app that was coming out called Whisper.
Yeah, what was that?
It's called Whisper. It's Whisper.
I couldn't hear you. What?
Called Whisper.
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 Okay.
Like Will Wheaton. And I downloaded it this week, and holy shit, is it the worst possible social media app I've ever seen or used in my life. Good God, Will. It is the worst.
Okay, so wait.
Oh,
I think you're mincing your words a little too much. Can you make it a little clearer for me?
Okay, Will. So what we've got is it's all anonymous, right? So the only information that it puts out there is location. It's location based, right? Or it can be universal through search terms. And basically, if you want to say something on Whisper, you create a meme. So you upload a picture, and then it superimposes. Well, you create a macro. You put a picture down as your bed, and then it throws text on top of it, and then it puts it out there. Right?
Holy shit, dude! I'm already totally lost. What?
Oh yeah. So you upload a picture. Could be anything. Could be.
Okay, wait a minute. So what? Hold on. So you're kind of talking about Snapchattiness. Right?
Kind of. It is anonymous, kind of like Snapchat is, or you can find it through usernames or not. You throw it, and you can say whatever you want. And at least from what I've observed, here are the active users of Whisper. Okay, you've got teenagers who are very frustrated and don't have an outlet to complain about things. Okay, sure. You've got teenage boys who want to hook up with someone. You've got maybe 20-somethings who want to hook up with someone. Again, from what I've seen, all males at this point. And then you've got adults who want to complain about their spouse to some extent and do it anonymously to an audience that doesn't really give a shit.
Okay, fair enough.
It's the worst. Oh my God.
Well, you know, I still have to say that one of the best underutilized social networks out there is still Google Plus.
Right, yeah, that's a thing still.
But even that being said, that you're just describing it, are you sure it's not a pedophile app?
Dude, like half of the things on there are, I'm up late. Anyone want to chat with a 18-year-old male and want to talk dirty to me or something like that? Like, it's fucking ridiculous. It takes me back to the days of chatroom.com, but everyone is a pedophile on it. Like, there's no special interest of like, oh, I'm in the comic book chat room, or oh, I'm in the no. Everyone on there is just looking for the darkest places of the internet, or are just complaining about life. It's the worst. Everyone, if you download it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, now I almost want to check it out of morbid curiosity.
Oh, it's just, I mean, and the first little bit, I'm like, oh, this will be fun, and then I'm looking around in my area, and it's just sad. Oh, it's like it's the equivalent of like riding the bus in the middle of the day.
Hey, speaking of buses though, and cool shit.
Yeah.
One of the stories that happened early last week, I think it was. This one blew me away. Only because, I'm all about renewable resources and electric vehicles and the like. There's even I'm one of those people that God, I really am such a California douchebag.
CADB.
I really do have myself a favorite, electric vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Oh. And I'm almost, in some ways, I'm not proud of that. In some ways, I am. Mine is the Arcimoto. I don't know if you've seen it.
I don't know.
I think it should. Is that? Well, wait. First of all,
isn't that the owl from Clash of the Titans?
No, I don't think so. But
no, that's Archimedes, I think.
No, I don't even think the owl itself had a horrible name. Why are you distracting me with bullshit, my friend? Why would you do this? Now of all times.
Oh, Bubo was its name. I'm sorry.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if anyone else has this effect. My whole point, I got a pain in my neck. Some guy, I think, basically had a heart attack or a major embolism, but he happened to be in his Tesla Model X.
I heard about this.
Yeah, that's the story I want to talk about, because that is dope. Because the Arcimoto, if I'm remembering the right one, it's more like a motorcycle experience, but you still have some encasement. I'll let you look it up.
Okay.
But it'll never have a smart drive feature like these other ones are coming up with, like with the Tesla.
Yeah.
And in this case, I mean, this guy, he was having major chest pains, and at the behest of, I think, his fiance or his wife, rather than wait for an ambulance because of the urgency of the pain he was having, he told basically his Tesla smart car to get him to the nearest hospital, nearest emergency room, and it successfully navigated all the way to the end of the off ramp. He had to, get himself into the parking lot. By the way, I want to remind everyone actually that emergency officials highly advise against this type of behavior. They always say, if you're at home and you're experiencing chest pains or anything, they always say that the best thing to do is to call an ambulance. And the reason why is because medical attention can be administered at the point that you're being picked up.
Yeah, exactly. From the second they're there. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not doing anything. You're not deferring any treatment is the whole point. So in a matter of public responsibility, I just want to mention that.
Yeah, no,
but
by all means.
But in this case, because there was a story actually before this where it was a situation where a guy was using autopilot and neither the driver nor the car identified the fact that a truck had an issue and was now spanning lanes. And
Oh shit!
And unfortunately, the guy got killed by decapitation. So,
oh God, Jesus!
So they were, I'm not saying that Tesla was hoping for this kind of story to pop up because that would be horrible. But I'm sure they're thankful for it at this point. But it is nice to hear that technology is getting to a point where it can help some people.
Yeah, dude, I used to be wholly against self-driving cars, but the more I walk around as a pedestrian, I cannot wait for the day when no one drives their own car and everything's automated and everything's efficient and no one will have to worry about getting hit by a car or crossing the street. Like, it's one day it will come.
Well, and that's the thing too that I think about, that if nothing else, if people were terrified of surrendering the personal experience, I think we could all agree, however, that a smart car that was working within a network of smart cars,
yes,
would be one of the greatest alleviators of traffic issues.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
In major scenarios. So, it's just something to bear in mind. But if I were in a situation where I could understand it, if it would take the ambulance the same amount of time it took him to get to the hospital, I think that's a zero sum. But
yeah,
it's just nice to see that the tech went somewhere for somebody.
Yeah.
But in that case, that's tech that's beneficial tech.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Not like this Pokemon Go where people are catching critters all over us.
Hey now, they're catching them all over my face, neck, and chest, apparently.
Oh, Jesus. And I just look I look horrible right now. I look like Jabba the Schmuck.
Oh, hey now.
Yeah. But don't dream it's over? What are you doing?
Exactly.
Hey, by the way, what else is going on in your world, man? We always talk about the bullshit I want to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
Well, a couple of things happened to me this week. My parents, in their waning years of activity, just being able to get out and do things around. So this year, my father bought my mom tickets to the Salt Lake City
Comic-Con.
Well, it's not quite the Comic-Con. It is the Comic-Con for them, though. Antiques Roadshow.
Oh shit, son.
Yeah. So they took some of their stuff down and went down there. And while they were at the, it's a convention of all sorts, essentially. But while they were there, I happened to see that my dad was featured on the Antiques Roadshow Facebook page.
Was that what that mustache picture was?
Yeah. So two of the appraisers there who have hipsterish mustaches grabbed my father and pulled him into the shot. You can go to the Antiques Roadshow Facebook page to check it out. So they've got their mustaches. And then for those of you who don't know, my father has like this beard mustache hybrid that when undone, it looks like walrus tusks that go down past his belt. But when done, he rolls them up into giant, like, onion ring type things that sit on his face.
Yeah, they're literally big curly circles. I mean, it looks like if you took the strongman mustache of old and then and you were to continue rolling it.
If Yosemite Sam was like, you know what, these are just out there too far, I'm gonna roll them up in like those pink curlers that your mom used to use and leave them there for the night.
Is that how it happens, Trent?
No, it's not. No, he uses a hair glue and a blow dryer.
Hold on, hair glue.
Yeah. So he gets the hair glue and he rolls it out, almost like makes a rope out of it, and then rolls it up and then blow dries it into like a crispy, crunchy, peanut buttery.
Oh wow! So in other words, each one of those rings is actually artisanally crafted.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There's no like no curling iron or
there's no shortcut to it
or nothing.
Nope, that's it is what it is. Yeah.
He rolls that sumbitch himself.
Yeah. So there was that. Last week we talked about how the comic book men who were just greenlit for another season will be attending the Salt Lake Comic-Con. Friday night, they will be doing kind of their big Q&A type panel. As like the end of the night big entertainment in the grand ballroom. And
this would be like closing Hall H at Comic-Con.
Yeah, exactly. For the middle day. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so it's for the middle day, and I will be emceeing that panel. I was just told.
No way.
Yeah. I get to be the MC on that. I'm pretty excited.
Okay, wait. What does that mean?
You know what? I'm not sure.
I mean, because these are guys that pretty much drive their own panels.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So I'm just gonna sit up there and basically be like, okay, thanks for your question. Next.
If that, your extent may just be announcing them.
Yeah. I will be happy to add my laughter to the soundtrack of their hilarity.
Yeah, we got to talk about that too. Hold on though, the phone's ringing. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
It's Ryan. Well,
hey Ryan, how the hell are you doing, sir?
pretty good.
Good.
I'm on my lunch break, and I saw you guys were on, so I decided to call and say hi.
Oh, I'm so glad we actually got to you then. If you were taking the time out of your hard-earned time off in order to just talk to two schmucks on the internet.
Well, there's not many better schmucks than you guys.
Aww.
Well, that's actually kind of touching, man. Thanks. Anyway, was there something specifically on your mind as well that you wanted to bring up this week?
Oh, I'm working so much, pulling a Trent and getting a second job so I can make some extra money for some Christmas stuff for when that comes around.
Attaboy.
So I don't have much time to social media lies with you guys. So I just wanted to say, hey, how you doing?
Right on, man. Hey, back at you. Right on.
Hey,
by the way,
hey.
Yeah. By the way, sometime when you might want to talk about it, because we have dallied into politics here and there. I know because of the beauty of social media, I know that you're one of the you're kind of in support of.
Is it me that's interneting out, or is it you?
It's probably both of us. We'll talk about it later. I just wanted to later on when you listen back to this, you'll know that I'd be interested in hearing your opinions in this election, since kind of you're more of a third partier, I would say. So.
I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah. So, but let's we'll work on that. We'll get it scheduled. Maybe we'll even we can record it as a section that we then play back, so that way it can work for everyone's schedule. But anyway, man, enjoy the rest of your break, and thanks for reaching out to it. Really appreciate it.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Love.
Bye.
I just said I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you reaching out to it. It means a lot to. I said something wrong.
Yeah, that's okay.
Horribly wrong.
He understood.
I just wish I actually had the benefit of like really good pain pills to make that kind of screw up make sense.
Well, hey, we you're asking for something that's just outside of our healthcare reach, Will.
Well, you know what is funny about the experience is that I discovered something that I've kind of guessed at, but I wasn't always sure.
Yeah.
Apparently, if I take ibuprofen in high doses, it makes me drowsy.
Really?
For everything I read on the internet, Trent, everything I read, like one of the least common symptoms is it making you drowsy, but at the same time, I Googled it and then I found a bunch of other people testifying. So I there's that coupled with the fact that when I'm not in an upright position, I experience less pain. So Wednesday night, when this kind of kicked into Thursday, I hardly slept. Then I discovered ways to get comfortable passed out. Thursday night, there's no other way to describe it because I didn't sleep. Friday night, look, the whole point is sleep has been a challenge, but then I've discovered now that if I lay down the right way, I can sleep and not experience pain. So apparently yesterday around I want to say 8 p.m. I told my wife I just can't stand sitting up anymore. I'm going to go lay down. And then at 10:30 this morning, I woke up. So it was either the high doses of ibuprofen or just the simple fact of if I don't move, I won't have pain. I'm just going to close my eyes and continue this.
Yeah, and let the Odin sleep take over.
That's kind of what it was. I was really hoping too that, and that's the other bitch about this that's really cruel, is that when you're laying there, I'm not having any pain. So it's kind of like, there's this. I'm kind of like throwing a ball on the roulette wheel, basically, and I'm wondering if my number's gonna come up this time. Because
come on, red 15.
No pain, no pain, no pain, no whammies. Stop. Ah, shit. Nope, not today. And it's always within the first couple minutes. Why am I telling you all this? Because it's the reason why I'm easily distracted this week.
Yeah.
But one of the things too that we do need to talk about, Trent. Because
stuff?
Well, no, not
okay,
that.
Fair enough. Next week maybe.
But there is the Salt Lake Comic-Con coming up.
It is.
We are weeks away now. Weeks.
Yeah.
Away.
2.5 weeks, I think, something essentially.
So here's the interesting thing, Trent. I mean, just strictly looking at it from being a fiscally responsible person.
Yeah, an adult.
Yeah, one of them. So here's the way I could appear at our panel at the Salt Lake Comic-Con. The first way is I could fly in Friday night. I would then have to have a place to stay Friday night.
Right.
Then I would be there for our panel, and then so here's we go into variation 1.
Sure.
I then immediately after our panel bail the frick out, hope I get on to a 2:30 flight in time because that's the last one leaving Salt Lake City on Saturday.
Yeah.
Likelihood pretty low.
Sure.
So then you got to look at scenario number 2.
Numero dos.
Take Friday off the table. Okay. And get a flight that lands me in Salt Lake City at 11:25.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'm either trying to dash to get the same 2:30 or I'm staying Saturday night.
Oh, wow. To get that would be, wow. That's intense.
Well, yeah, that would be a bit much.
Yeah.
And we're still at the point I still haven't discussed this with my wife.
Yeah,
So
all in due time.
So I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah.
I've got a huge pain in the neck right now. She doesn't need one too.
Yeah. You don't need to be her pain in the neck right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
So I don't know, but I got to figure out a way to make it work, because if there is the potential that any of the comic book men do show up for it.
Yeah.
I can't be the asshole that doesn't, right? I mean, you just can't.
It is what it is,
Well, because the flight out, if the appropriate ones, flying itself could not be an expense at all.
Right.
I could have the tickets taken care of.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're just looking at parking and then anything I have to spend to get around and survive until I get back.
Right.
Not to mention the gas. If you want to look at it in a completely complete
fiscal responsibility.
The other scenario, when you get into hotel and stuff, that's where it really gets kind of shaky.
Correct.
For me. I mean, not that I'm asking for a free room for anybody, because I'm not, because that's fucking weird. And and April Cromwell says, how is this not an intro for a Casper mattress?
Will, if you had one delivered.
That's true. I got to tell you, Trent, if I were sitting there and let's say, for example, I were to fly in Friday night, and then I don't know, maybe you were driving back to the city of which you live in.
Yeah.
Which Logan. You were driving back to Logan, Utah, and let's say it just so happens I also were able to order a Casper mattress.
Yes.
And have it delivered. We could cut open the box, Trent.
Mm-hmm.
And within moments there would be a mattress.
Yeah, right there.
Now, and I can tell you why I know this, because I sleep on a Casper mattress, Trent.
You don't say.
I do not. I do say. I just did.
You do.
I sleep on a Casper mattress. We have a king. And you know what? I was able to use an offer code, and I was able to get $50 off that mattress.
Nice.
Yes. And I'll tell you, this mattress, I just said, when I'm on my feet, I'm in pain.
Yeah.
I just slept 10.5 hours, maybe more.
Yeah, it's not everywhere you can do that.
Oh, wait a minute. That was like 14 hours, really.
Yeah. You slept half a day. More than half a day.
If that is not testimony to how this hybrid of technology, of memory foam and latex, to provide an exemplary night's sleep, giving you a mattress with just the right sink, Trent, and just the right bounce for when you need it.
Right.
All of that available to you, and not just me. It's available to you.
Yeah.
If you are in need of a mattress, I am telling you right now that this is Trent. Do you know where this mattress is made?
In the US of A?
That is correct, sir. This is an American product.
USA.
That's right. Look at that support. That
Can you imagine if I had been wrong?
We would have just rolled over it like we do everything else. Folks, not only are these things comfortable, you can save money, and plus 100 nights risk-free. You can sleep on this thing and do whatever you do on this thing for 99 days.
I'll bet there's a lot of listeners who wish that they could, have 100 nights risk-free with their significant other.
There you go. That's right, baby.
You don't get that. You don't get that in any other thing you're sleeping with.
You got 99 problems, but them days ain't one.
No.
You can get yourself this mattress risk-free. Just go to netheadsonair.com, click the Casper link, and get yourself a great night's sleep, folks. I test drove these. I have one. It really is. It's an amazing night's sleep. It's an amazing night's comfort. Go to netheadsonair.com, click the Casper mattress link, and do yourself a favor. Get some sleep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sleep, man. It's more than meets the eye.
I can't turn my neck enough to know which song I press.
Just press. Just
I'm
mash.
gonna do this. There we go. Let's see. Hey, Orc, look at that. The music's gone. Lo and behold.
See, that's how it works.
I'm gonna have fun looking back on the video at that one moment because I'm like, I'm in pain right there.
Can't smash.
But what does pain look like? I'll tell you what it looks like.
We'll see. We'll see.
It looks like me trying not to look like I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure makes it look more like I've just stroked out.
Oh crap! The toast. The toast.
Oh, I don't smell any fudge.
Good.
No matter what you say about this show, I still don't smell fudge. Anyway, folks, whatever the hell we were talking about, it's not important right now. Obviously, we're gonna do what we can to get me out there, but I'll tell you one beautiful thing that Trent did float out there is he did say, I got to tell you, in the event of an emergency, Will, video is an option.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. We could set up a Skype or a Hangout or whatever you need.
And I could theoretically be there as well, which, I mean, come on, let's face it. Name one person out of the entire place where their visit to that panel was hanging on the fact that I was there. Just name one.
Yeah. I mean,
Name one. You can't.
Cassidy Ward, maybe.
Maybe Ryan Call.
Yeah.
He's like, I was gonna go if Wilkins was gonna be there, but screw it.
Yeah.
Mate, nope, none of them.
He's like, F that ass.
Exactly, buddy. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, folks, until next time, however, thank you for tuning in and joining us. Hopefully, I will listen back, and if whatever point I was trying to make before I told you how important it was to go out and vote, I'll write up something about it, and I'll put it on netheadsonair.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough, right? Yeah. We can find out what that moment was, and we can get it back. We may not want it, but we can get it back.
But it'll be there. Yeah.
Until next time, folks, don't forget, go to Twitter. You can get a part of him. That's Trent on Twitter, or you can go to a part of him.com.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
also
boom.
me.
Bing, bang, boom. I'm Nethead WW. The show is Netheads on Air, and you've been listening to another edition of Netheads on Smoko Internet Radio.
From smodcast.com.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. Signing off. I know, right? But stop being a little Nancy and deal with it. NetHeads. We'll be back soon.
Goodbye.
This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.
I just got to say, the one really unfair thing is that I do have the control of the video, so that if I had the nice little show graphic up, but then I'm like, oh, look at Trent enjoying himself dancing during the music.
I always dance during the music.
I don't know. Well, I used to before.
I can't not dance.
You can't. I can't.
I can't heat in these feet. Will, they're moving around.
I don't know what to say after that.
You don't have to. Oh, Will.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to say that I'm going to be doing, anyone watching the TV or the video stream now or on YouTube, the Pew Pew shirts, I'm going to be making some more. So if anyone wants one, send an email to deathratecomics@gmail.com and I'll get you the deets on it.
Oh, that is exciting. I got to tell you, Trent.
Yeah.
This is not a commercial at all, but I feel like I should play the music because one of my favorite t-shirts, one of my most coveted t-shirts, because it fits a fluffy man like myself so well.
They're the best.
Just a fine quality cotton t-shirt with all black with the Pew Pew on the front. It's one of my favorite t-shirts, man.
Yeah, I've got friends that when they do Comic Cons, they always wear their Pew Pew shirt because everyone loves it. It's so much fun.
Well, what's going to be on the back now?
It'll still be Death Ray Comics and then the website because I've still got stuff going on over there. So
perhaps maybe you should take some time to mention that on the podcast of which you are a part of, because we don't do this for our health. Well, actually we do it because it's fun, but
definitely not for your health. Look at your shoulder.
Yeah, right. But if you're, I'm just saying, if you got things going on, you got to be sure to mention them, because if you don't, then nobody's doing anything with your stuff, and all we want in life is people to do stuff with our stuff, right?
So just send an email, deathratecomics@gmail.com. I'll get back to you. I will be going to print with them probably by the 24th. So that's like a week and a half.
Jesus, man. I mean, put me down for 2 3Xs and 2 2Xs.
Done and done. Bing, bang, boom.
I'm not going to figure out how to pay for that. Listen to him. He's complaining about a room, but suddenly he's buying t-shirts.
Left and right like it ain't no thing.
Right? What the hell?
T-shirts and stuff.
Well, I'm doing